let's start in Tadasana. So lying on your back, take the bottoms of your feet to the outer edges of your mat. Knock your knees together, because that opens your sacrum. And then take opposite hand to opposite elbow and reach overhead, putting your forearms onto the ground. And then soften your low ribs into your body. As you close your eyes, feel your back body begin to melt into the floor. Just beginning to land here on your mat, taking a few deep breaths to get present in your body. Many people, without even realizing it, are just not on friendly terms with stillness. They think they can't do it, but that's not really the truth. They can, it's just that it makes them uncomfortable. If you wanted to bench press 300 pounds, but you hadn't built the strength for it, that would be difficult. Similarly, being able to be still and focused are strengths that we need to practice and build, even though when we start, it can be very uncomfortable. Right now, as you come to your practice, can you let go of the inner drama junkie, pulling back from your day's intensity, becoming focused and still? As you expand with each inhale, release and soften with each exhale. Just take a few breaths. And then the next time you exhale, bring your knees into your chest and hug them tight. And then, keeping your head, neck, and shoulders on the floor, lift both feet up toward the ceiling. Flex your ankles, so you're pushing up through your heels, engaging the muscles of your thighs and hugging them into the bone. And then lower just your right leg so it hovers off of the floor and engages your low belly. Take your left hand behind the base of your skull, and your right arm is going to come outside your left thigh. And then pulsing and lifting for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both feet up to the sky. Lower and hover your left leg. And if it's getting too intense, you can always place your left foot onto the floor. Otherwise, you're pressing into both heels. Extend your left arm outside your right thigh. Right hand behind the base of your skull. Pulse and lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug your knees to your chest. And then rock up to a soft boat pose with your knees bent. Lift your chest as high as you can. Extend your arms if it's available. And then roll down into your sacrum so you feel your low belly engage. Press up through the balls of your feet if it's available. And then bend your knees and lift your chest back up.
So extending your feet and lowering into your sacrum. And then exhale, lift. Lower, pull into your low belly. And lift. Lower, last time. Pull in low belly into the front of your spine. And lift. And then right ankle crosses left. And we'll take 10 pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, heart high, shoulders back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch the cross. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach everything up. And then crossing your ankles, come into a forward fold. Look up halfway. And then exhale, lower. So you should feel a nice stretch on the outer thigh of the foot that's in front. Now we'll switch the cross of the legs. Inhale, look up. Exhale, deep fold. And knees can be soft. Bring your feet, big toes to touch. Look up and lengthen. Exhale and fold. And then sink your hips and lift your chest for chair pose. And we'll start with some Rethink Sun salutations. So as you exhale, swing your arms back and bring your ribs to your thighs. Inhale, swing up, hips stay low. Exhale, plant your hands, step your right foot into a lunge. Take your left foot into plank. Knees, chest, and chin to the earth, shoulder blades back. Hips down, heart high cobra. Exhaling, come back into down dog over soft knees. Inhaling, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Step forward with your right foot and forward with your left. Swing up to chair pose. Make a prayer overhead. Straighten your legs. Drop your tail as you lift your chest up and reach back. And then come to neutral. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, swing back. Inhale, swing up. Exhale, hands plant, left foot into lunge. Right foot into plank. Knees, chest, and chin to the earth. Elbows tight to your ribs. Hips down, heart lifts. Tuck back and up, down dog. Left leg lifts. Knee to nose. Left foot top of the mat. Right foot joins left. Come up to chair, arms overhead. Make a prayer. Reach it up. Lift from the center of your heart. And then hands to neutral. Inhale for 3. Inhale 2. One more inhale. Next inhale, sink your heels and hips into chair pose. Swing back. Swing up. Swing back and try without hands, step into lunge. Then swing up Plant your hands and step to plank. Knees can be up or down as you bring yourself into chaturanga. Up dog, knees are lifted. Down dog, exhale. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, core plank, knee to chest. Step your right foot forward. Swing your arms up into a lunge. Swing back. Swing up and keep your hips low to step to chair. Make a prayer. Reach it up. And lift back. Hands to your heart. Inhale to chair. Exhale, swing back. Inhale, swing up. Exhale, swing back, left foot into lunge. Swing up. Plant your hands and step to plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Left leg high. Knee to your nose. Step up and swing into a lunge. Swing back as you exhale. Swing up to chair. Make a prayer. Lift it up. Reach back. Hands to your heart. 3 deep breaths. Inhale. 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 And then last round, chair pose. Exhale, swing back. Swing up. Swing back, right foot into lunge. Swing up. Plant your hands. This time left leg goes to three-legged dog. Three-legged plank. You can always cross at the ankles or stay lifted and come into chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. Left knee into your chest. Step forward, swing up into lunge. Swing back. Come up into chair. Make a prayer. Reach it up and reach it back. Hands to your heart. Inhale. Inhale. Deep breath. And then chair pose, last round. Swing back. Swing up. Left foot this time, step to lunge. Swing up. Plant your hands. Three-legged dog, right leg high. Plank. Lower. Up dog. Right heel lifts up and back. Knee to chest. Step up and lift, lunge. Swing back. Swing up to chair. Make a prayer. Up and back. Hands to your heart. Inhale. Inhale. Last deep, big inhale. And release your hands. Tadasana. Take your feet about hip distance and come into a wide chair pose, forearms on your thighs, like a downhill skier. So you're pressing against your thighs, hip creases move back, chest moves forward, and your spine is very long. So shift your weight into your heels, so you're really engaging muscle. And then keeping your neck long, fix your gaze. Reach your arms forward, biceps frame your ears. Belly lifts up.
Fixing your drishti gaze, one single point to the earth, and breathe for 5. 4. Weight stays into your heels. 3. This is buns of steel move. 4. Now open your arms to a T. Lift the backs of your hands toward the sky. Keep breathing, gaze fixed, finding the stillness. 2, 3, 4, 5. Wrists to your hips. Pinkies lift up. Breathing, you can do it. 5. Home stretch. 4. Yoga is a verb. It's an action word. It's the action of being with yourself. The choice to be still, focused, completely with yourself. Right here, one more breath. And then fold. Nice job. So let's take opposite hand to opposite elbow. Relax the head. A little sway right and left. And then releasing the bind. Toe heel your feet together. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, nice deep fold. Inhaling from your core, lift all the way up, arms overhead. Exhaling, hinging into a fold, heart pours over your thighs. Halfway lift. Walk or float into your chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. Take your right leg high. Exhale, core plank, knee to nose. Right foot to the top of the mat. And open all the way up to a warrior 2 pose. Sink your hips. Watch that your right knee is staying open. Left hip bone open. Shoulders relaxed. Energy moves through your fingertips. Big, deep, strong breath. Then take your right hand outside your ankle to the floor or up onto a block. Left fingertips reach across your left ear. Hug your right hip under your body. Press your right knee into your right bicep. Then see if you can take this left hand around your low back into a bind right at your hip crease. With this bind, as you exhale, you can deepen your twist. Take a look down at your right big toe. Walk your right hand forward of your pinky toe, and then your left leg is going to lift up from the outer thigh. Holding in Ardha Chandrasana. Inhale. 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 And then release your left hand down to the floor. Square your hips. And take a standing split. Lifting your left toes toward the sky, bringing your chest into your standing leg. Now, keeping your back long, Look up, walk your hands forward, and see if pulling from your belly with your shoulder blades on your back, you can lift your hands up into a prayer pose. Soften your standing leg and land gently into a lunge. Going through vinyasa, plank, lower, up dog, and down dog. Next inhale is going to lift your left leg up. The exhale brings your knee into your chest. Stepping forward, rotate your back heel down and wind up warrior two. Left knee now is moving toward the pinky toe. Open hips. Spine is neutral. Energy reaches through your fingers. Take your left hand outside your left ankle. Right forearm comes all the way across. To deepen the twist, your right hand comes around your low back. Tuck it into your hip crease. Exhale and rotate your right ribs toward the ceiling. Then big inhale opens your chest. Take a look down at your standing foot, left foot. Walk your left hand about 8 to 12 inches forward of your left pinky toe. Keep your ribs stacked, and you're coming up into Ardha Chandrasana. Both heels are pushing away from each other. Right hand is going to come down to the floor. Your chest and your hips square. Walk your chest back into your left thigh. Reach your right toes high. Then walk your hands forward. Spine is long. Now this is optional. You can stay right here or pulling up at your core. See how you feel about lifting your hands to your heart center. Soften your standing knee and float back into a lunge. Going to down dog or through vinyasa. Take your right foot into the air. Knee to chest as you exhale. Up and back as you inhale. Knee to chest as you exhale. Up and back. One more, knee to chest. Right foot top of the mat. Pivot your left heel down and lift warrior one. straighten your right knee and square your hips forward. So right hip pulls back, left hip moves forward. Interlace your hands overhead, Kali Mudra. We're lowering to 90 degrees. Fix your gaze to your right big toe. Pull your belly up and in. Lift your biceps alongside your ears. Now take your right hand to your right hip. Pull that hip back. Left hand's coming outside your right ankle or inside is to modify. It's a little less intense. Rotate your ribs toward the ceiling. Right hip's moving back. Stack your ribs. Right arm comes up to the sky. Square your shoulders toward the floor. Your hands frame your front foot. Look up halfway. Soften your right knee. You're back into Warrior One. Straighten your right leg again. Interlace your hands, Kali Mudra. Coming back into a 90-degree angle. Neck is long, right hip moves back. Holding and breathing. Take your right hand now outside your right ankle. Soften your right knee. Roll your left ribs toward the ceiling. Straighten the right knee and your left arm lifts, Trikonasana pose. Take both hands to the earth, frame your front foot, and step back into your plank pose through vinyasa. Inhaling, left leg up. Exhale, core plank. Inhale, lift. Exhale, draw to your core. Inhale, lift. Last one, knee to nose. Step your left foot forward. Pivot your right heel down. Warrior One. Straighten your left leg. Rotate so your left hip crease pulls back. Right hip point forward. Chest high, spine long. Interlace your hands, Kali Mudra. From your core, not your low back. 90 degrees. Left hip keeps moving back. Long, smooth, deep breath. Your left hand comes to your left hip. Push your left hip back and take your right hand outside your ankle or at the instep. Rotate your left ribs to the sky, left arm high. Both hands frame your front foot. Look up halfway, hips moving back. Soften your left knee. Lift back into warrior one. Straighten your left knee. Hip bone square again. Arms overhead. Hinge forward. Belly lifts up and in to protect your low spine. Crown of the head's moving forward. Hips are moving back. This time, right hand to right ribs, left hand outside your front ankle. Soften your left knee so you have room to rotate your torso. Straighten your left knee, right ribs to the ceiling. Then right arm lifts. This is such a great pose for sciatica because you're opening the hips and lengthening hamstrings. So each time we hold a pose, taking 5 breaths, you know, there's 500 different thoughts that will go through your mind. I'm too stiff. I'm tired. This isn't working. This feels great. She lost count. They're all possible thoughts that can go through your head. Come back to your breath. Focus on the single breath you're breathing right now. You don't have to create complete emptiness in your mind. Just don't hang on to the thoughts that go through. Square your shoulders and hips to the earth. Don't dialogue with every thought that comes into your head. Step back to plank pose and lower. Heart high, down dog. Look up between your thumbs, soften your knees, and as you exhale, float your feet to the top of the mat. Lift halfway up and fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hinge all the way down. Halfway lift, lengthen. Exhaling, float or walk into your low push-up. Up dog and down dog. Lift your right leg high. Draw your knee into your chest. Come up to warrior two. And then straighten both legs. Take your heels in 45 degrees. And then bend your knees for goddess pose. The knees are pressing back over your toes. Tailbone is long, and you get a long tail by lifting your belly. Then bring your arms up overhead. We're going to do 3 Ha Kriya. We inhale through the fingertips and exhale, Ha. Inhale, lift, and Ha. Inhale, lift, And ha! Inhale, lift, and straighten your legs. Pivot your heels wider than your toes. Hinge from your hips. Hands all the way down onto the floor. Then walk your hands forward like a really long, stretchy down dog. Drop your chest. Drop your third eye. Everything nice and long and reaching. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Open your right toes to the top of the mat. Come back into lunge. And then we're stepping through vinyasa. Right leg high. Core plank, knee to nose. Warrior two. Windmill top of the mat. And step through vinyasa. Other side, lifting your left leg. Knee to your nose. Step forward and warrior two. Straighten both legs. Pivot your heels into 45 degrees. Sink your hips. Goddess pose. See if you can get a little bit lower than the last goddess pose. Arms up overhead. 3 ha kriyas. Inhale, reach, and exhale. Ha! Reach. Ha! Reach. Ha! And straighten both legs. This time, toes are going to come straight forward. Hinge from your hips. And take yogic toe lock. Peace fingers. Wrap your big toes. Bending into your left leg. Nice deep stretch. And then right leg. Moving back and forth. Finding your center, both hands to the mat, look up and lengthen. Open your left toes, top of the mat. Stepping back, plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. One more vinyasa, left leg lifts, core plank, warrior two. Find a lot more space now. Windmill hands down. Step to plank. Exhale to lower. Lift. And down dog. And then walk your feet to the top of the mat. Take them at least hip distance, maybe even wider. And come into Malasana pose. Take your left hand, bring it across your left shin, and then reach your right arm up for a twist. Now, you can even take this into a half bind to deepen the twist if you choose.
Then bringing your right hand back down, step your right foot back into a lunge and take your knee to the earth. Left hand stays on the ground. Your right arm comes back and takes your back ankle. So you're staying in this twist. So you can add a lot of stretching to your quadricep, front of your thigh, by drawing your heel into your right hip. Release the bind. Now we're rolling to the pinky edge of our right foot and opening our left toes to point straight forward. So we're in a variation of side plank. Using your core, lift your left foot and take Vasisthasana, side plank. Left hand down, lower, hard up, down dog. And walk your feet to the top of the mat. Coming back to Malasana pose. This time we'll take our right arm across the front of our right shin and twist, left arm lifts. Half bind is an option. And then keeping the right hand planted, your left foot stepping back into a lunge, and your left knee comes to the floor. Staying in the twist, grab your back ankle. And if you want to add the stretch to the front of your left thigh, rotate your elbow up, pull your heel toward your hip. Release the bind, stepping back into plank. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, better than stepping back into plank, rotate to the pinky edge of your left foot and open your right toes. Variation of side plank. Everything is pushing down to bring the energy up. Now it's from the core that you lift this front leg and stack it up, side plank. Both hands to the earth. Lower chaturanga. Lift your heart and then your hips. Then walk your feet halfway up the mat. Take your hands to your hips. Tuck your chin. Round your back all the way up. Head is the last to arrive up into a standing position. Then soften your knees. Take your right thigh over your left thigh for Garudasana. Your toes can touch the floor. Lift or wrap your standing calf. Bring your right arm under your left. Go back to back on your hands or palm to palm. Fix your gaze to the inside of your elbows, finding the stillness, softening what you're gripping. Then keep your hands in bind, but unwrap your right foot and come into a variation of Warrior 3. Right leg pressing behind you. Now I've got the wall here, so I can cheat a little bit by pressing my foot into my wall.
Not fair.
It's not fair. Now you're going to swing your right leg through and lift your knee to your chest. Grab a hold of your knee with your right hand. So you can stay here with your right knee or grab your toes. Lift your chest. Press your right heel forward or stay with your knee. Leave everything you've got into the pose. Don't reserve your energy. Commit fully to what you're doing and then release. Soften your knees. Take the left thigh over your right. So you can come in and out with your toes if you feel a little unsteady. And then left arm is under. Taking the wrap. Just focus on how nice and cool your breath feels against your arms. Keep your arms in bind, unwrap your legs, and if you're lucky enough to have a wall behind you, press your foot into that wall. But if the wall's not there, pretend it's there. Press your foot back. Swinging your left leg up. Knee into your chest. And then grabbing your big toe if you choose. Lift your heart, spine long. Press into your heel. And release. Big inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Halfway lift, spine long. And then float back into chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. Lift your right leg high. Bend your right knee, press it behind you, look under your left armpit, watch that right foot. You can really watch it, and it's going to come all the way down to the earth. Lift your heart, lift your hips, and reach your right arm overhead. Wild thing, flipped dog. Take an inhale. As you exhale, rotate back around, right hand down, side plank into your right hand. Plank pose.
Knees, chest, and chin to the earth. Hips come down to your mat. Cobra pose. Then release your cobra pose. Interlace your hands at your low back. Lift your hands up towards the sky. As you exhale, belly button in, Shalambhasana. Feet up, chest up. Release everything to the earth. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Walk your hands back so your thumbs are lined up with your chest. Feet pressed to the earth, tops of the feet. Press all the way up, up dog. You want your chest coming through your arms. And then down dog. Left leg lifts. Bend your left knee. Press it off to the right side of your body. Look under your right arm. Find that foot. You can see it getting closer to the earth until you flip your dog. Hips lift, heart lifts, left arm overhead. Coming back around, left hand plants, side plank into your left hand. Claw the mat with your left fingertips, so you're pulling your energy up out of your wrist. Both hands to the earth, knees, chest, and chin. Hips down, cobra pose. Release your cobra. Interlace your hands and flip the other thumb on top. Lift your triceps. Exhale to protect your low spine. And then lift everything up except your hip bones. Release and soften. Hands to the mat. Thumbs are at the center of your chest. Shoelaces press to the floor. And lift up dog. Reversing, pull in at your belly, down dog. And then take your knees to the floor. And come into a table pose. Cross your right thigh over your left thigh. So the knees are hugging together. Walk your ankles out and then sit down between your ankles. A little bit of sweat going on. A little. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to wring a little bit more out of the body. Okay. So, hip creases are pushing back, heart's lifting high. You can't take a good twist if you're collapsing your chest, right? So lift the chest up, relax your shoulders. And then bring your left elbow over your upper knee. Press your palms together, right elbow toward the sky. Exhale, and twist. Come back to center. And we will fold, keep the height. Your chin is coming forward of your knees. So it doesn't matter if you don't come all the way down into it. You just walk down to the place that you can, keeping your back long. And then walking up. Keep your right leg on top, but we're going to take Agni-Stambhasana, double pigeon pose. So your left shin gets parallel with the edge of the mat, and your right shin crosses on top. You want your ankles to be beyond your knees. Feet are flexed, protect your ankles and your knee. And we're going to take one more twist. So hands to your heart. This time we're twisting the right elbow into the instep of your upper foot. So if the elbow doesn't get there, that's okay. You're going to take your forearm and just slide your forearm down to wherever you can get it. So it deepens the twist as you slide your forearm down the instep of your foot. You might get to your elbow and maybe not, and that's okay too. Lifting up. Nice. And then come back to your table. Cross your left thigh over your right. Ankles open wide and sit down between your ankles. And sometimes sitting on a block is good, or a dictionary works too. Palms together. Sit into your hips, but lift your spine tall. Lots of space. As you exhale, belly button in, and then come across. Your right elbow comes across your left thigh. As you press your palms together, you spin your heart around. Untwist, and we will come back into double pigeon or Agni-Stambhasana. This time the right shin comes across, the left shin stacks, feet flexed, heart high. Taking your left forearm and just drawing it through the instep. Get as far as you can. May not get to the elbow, that's okay. If it does get to the elbow, then you bend your elbow and come into prayer pose. Come back around. We'll take our fold here this time, so heart high and folding forward. Lifting your heart high. Come back to seated. Bring both feet to the floor with your knees bent. And then roll onto your back. Keep your left knee bent and lift your right foot up to the sky. You can also do this with your right knee bent. Grab the back of your thigh, your calf, or take your big toe. Pressing into your heel, open your leg to the right side of your mat. If you want to intensify the stretch, extend your left leg and glue the back of your left knee down onto the floor. Pulling from the low core, bring the right foot all the way up. Switch your left hand to the pinky edge of your foot or your calf or your thigh, whatever's working for you. The right arm opens like a wing, and you guide your right foot across your body. Bring your right hip down toward the bottom of the mat. Get very long in your side waist. And then lifting your foot, switch sides. So the right knee bends, foot on the floor, left foot toward the ceiling. Grab the back of your leg or your toe and open your left foot to the side of the mat. To get deeper into the stretch, you can straighten your right leg. Pressing the back of your knee to the floor grounds your hip. Then using very low core muscles, it's the muscle between the top of your pubic bone and your belly button, to lift your leg up. Switch hands. Your right hand comes to the pinky edge of your foot or the outside of your leg. Open your left arm and guide your foot across your body. Keep your left shoulder down onto the floor and lengthen your left side waist by dropping your hip down toward the bottom of the mat. Lifting your foot. Hug both knees into your chest. And then find your Savasana, lengthening onto the mat. Allow your body to soften. Know that the thoughts that go through your mind are not who you are. You are the place the thoughts come from. You are the place the thoughts will go back to, but you are not your thoughts. You don't need to push them away or create empty mind. Just let them be, let them soften, and come to your stillness. Gently begin to bring your mind back into your body. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Hugging your knees to your chest one at a time. Extending your right arm on the floor overhead so that you can roll to your right side and rest your head on your bicep. And then using the strength of your left arm to lift to seated pose. Coming back to Sukhasana. Bring your hands together at heart center, sealing the energy of your practice. Lift your four fingers to your third eye and take a bow to your higher self. I honor each of you and thank you for letting me be of service. Namaste.